U.S. to train Ukrainians on Howitzer artillery systems in next days. Artillery is part of $800 million military aid package that U.S. says will help Ukraine defend against Russian offensive in East. The 155mm howitzer cannons are part of an additional $800 million weapons package for Ukraine that U.S. President Joe Biden announced last week. It also includes other artillery systems, artillery rounds, armored personnel carriers and helicopters. This new package of assistance will contain many of the highly effective weapon systems we have already provided and new capabilities tailored to the wider assault we expect Russia to launch in eastern Ukraine, Biden said in a statement on Wednesday. So, what is the 155mm self-propelled howitzer M109? Let's figure it out. The M109 is an American 155mm turreted self-propelled howitzer, first introduced in the early 1960s to replace the M44. It has been upgraded a number of times, most recently to the M109A7. The M109 family is the most common Western indirect-fire support weapon of maneuver brigades of armored and mechanized infantry divisions. The M109 has a crew of 4, the section chief, commander, the driver, the gunner, and the ammunition handler, loader. The chief or gunner aims the cannon left or right, deflection, and up and down, quadrant. The British Army replaced its M109s with the AS-90. Several European armed forces have or are currently replacing older M109s with the German PZH-2000. Upgrades to the M109 were introduced by the US, see variants below, and by Switzerland, KAWEST. With the cancellation of the US Crusader and non-line-of-sight cannon, the M109A6, Paladin, will remain the principal self-propelled howitzer for the U.S. for the foreseeable future until the new M1299 will enter service. The M109 was the medium variant of a U.S. program to adopt a common chassis for its self-propelled artillery units. The light version, the M108 howitzer, was phased out during the Vietnam War, but many were rebuilt as M109s. The M109 saw its combat debut in Vietnam. Israel used the M109 against Egypt in the 1973 Yom Kippur War and in the 1982 and 2006 Lebanon Wars. Iran used the M109 in the Iran-Iraq War in the 1980s. The M109 saw service with the British, Egyptian and Saudi Arabian armies in the 1991 Gulf War. The M109 also saw service with the U.S. Army in the Gulf War, as well as in the Iraq War from 2003 to 2011. Upgrades to the cannon, ammunition, fire control, survivability, and other electronic systems over the design's lifespan have expanded the system's capabilities, including tactical nuclear projectiles, guided projectiles, copperhead, rocket-assisted projectiles, RAP, family of SC-atterable mines, FASCAM, and cluster munitions, the dual-purpose improved conventional munition, DPICM. In January 2016, the U.S. Army test-fired hypervelocity projectiles originally designed for use by U.S. Navy electromagnetic railguns and found that they significantly increased the gun's range. The Army is looking into using the M109 Paladin firing the HVP for ballistic missile defense, as traditional missile interceptors are expensive and gun-based missile defense used for point defense would use artillery at a much lower cost per round. The HVP is capable of being fired out to 50 nautical miles, 58 miles, 93 kilometers, from a conventional cannon. It weighs 68 pounds, 31 kilograms, with a 46 pounds, 21 kilograms, flight body containing its guidance and warhead, less powerful, but more agile to hit small, high-speed targets. Modifications will be needed for the Paladin to effectively shoot the HVP, possibly including different propellant to achieve higher velocities, automated reloading systems to fire quickly enough to defeat salvo launches, improved barrel life, and a new fire control and sensor system. During a test of the Air Force's Advanced Battle Management System, ABMS, on 3 September 2020, an HVP fired from an Army Paladin howitzer successfully intercepted a BQM-167 target drone simulating a cruise missile. M109A6, Paladin, overall product improvement in the areas of survivability, RAM, and armament. This includes increased armor, a redesigned internal arrangement for safer ammunition and equipment storage, engine and suspension upgrades, and product improvement of the M284 cannon and M182A1 mount. The greatest difference is the integration of an inertial navigation system, sensors detecting the weapon's lay, automation, and an encrypted digital communication system, which utilizes computer-controlled frequency hopping to avoid enemy electronic warfare and allow the howitzer to send grid location and altitude to the Battery Fire Direction Center, FDC. The battery FDCs in turn coordinate fires through a battalion or higher FDC. This allows the Paladin to halt from the move and fire within 30 seconds with an accuracy equivalent to the previous models when properly emplaced, laid, and saw-fed. A process that required several minutes under the best of circumstances. Tactically, this improves the system's survivability by allowing the battery to operate dispersed by pairs across the countryside and allowing the howitzer to quickly displace between salvos, or if attacked by indirect fire, aircraft, or ground forces. Ammunition storage is increased from 36 to 39,155 mm rounds. U.S. Army received first Paladin in 1994 and last of 950 ordered in 1999. The newest M109 version for U.S. service is the M109A7, formerly known as the M109A6 Paladin Integrated Management, PIM. The M109A7 shares common chassis components with the Bradley Fighting Vehicle, BFV, such as the engine, transmission, and tracks. This creates commonality with other systems and maximizes cost savings in production, parts inventory, and maintenance personnel. The M109A7's onboard power systems harness technologies originally developed for the non-line of sight cannon. The electric drive is faster than the previous hydraulic system, and the automatic rammer more consistently rams the round into the gun for consistent velocities and better accuracy. It features a 600-volt onboard power system to accommodate additional armor and future networking technologies as they become ready. The M109A7 can sustain a 1 round per minute rate of fire and a maximum rate of fire of 4 rounds per minute. Weighing 78,000 pounds, 35,000 kilograms, the M109A7 is 10,000 pounds, 4,500 kilograms, heavier than its predecessor, and it has the capacity to grow to 110,000 pounds, 50,000 kilograms. Even with the weight increase, the M109A7 can travel faster than previous versions at 38 miles per hour, 61 kilometers per hour, and is more maneuverable than a BFV. Prototypes of the vehicle underwent government testing in preparation for a low-rate initial production, LRIP decision. The testing included ram, mission and ballistic hull and turret testing. The M109A7 was slated to begin LRIP by 2013. The U.S. Army planned on procuring a fleet of 580 sets of M109A7 howitzers and M992A3 field artillery ammunition support vehicles, FAASVs. In October 2013, the Defense Acquisition Board approved the decision to start M109A7 production. The FY 2014 budget called for $340.8 million in Paladin funding, which would be 24 vehicle sets at $14.4 million per vehicle. The Army plans to buy 133 vehicles in 66 1/2 vehicle sets starting in 2014. That's all for today. Thanks for watching, and if you don't mind, click like under this video and subscribe to the channel to keep abreast of all military news.